Welcome back, guys, and I am working on more of the secondary hull. These neck pieces are finished. I just put a coat of clear on them. I got the windows to the point where I'm satisfied with them. So I got all these windows done. These over here. And I've started work on the photo etch. Here's the arboretum here. I put a coat of clear on that just now. Let's see. I've got the shuttle bit. Just put a coat of clear on that too. It's kind of hard to see; it's all in black. But that the section that goes out to the fantail there is all black, and then I got to paint this. It's kind of the walls and the roof. That's what that is. They got the roof in the middle. You can even see that. Let's see if I can get the glare on it. There we go. The roof's in the middle, and these are the walls, and it all folds over. This is the back wall. These are the side walls, and they kind of fold in sections that line up with the side of this back wall here. It's kind of difficult to explain. But yeah, so the black's done, and I'm gonna mask that off. And this door here, man, hard to shoot that. This door here is gonna be silver, and I'm not sure about the paint in there yet. I have to look at some screenshots I have. Pylons, I just put a big old coat of clear on those. You can see I have to go back and paint the blue on these vents, and then the leading edge, whichever that is, gets the duck egg blue, and these are going to get a darker blue, and then the leading edge gets the duck egg blue, and then I have to put the photo etch on those that go in between those two things. And what else am I doing? Oh, I'm thinking about the wiring situation here, and if I can even do the photo etch. So yeah, this is going to be the walls are going to kind of be a two-tone. The walls here. These are the walls of the photo etch there, and there this thing kind of folds over and in on itself. This folds up. This back wall folds up at 90 degrees, and then this is the ceiling that just folds up over it. You can kind of see there's corresponding little tiny tabs here, and that ceiling goes in between the middle of those two tabs. And the beige is going to be the main color of the walls. And then I'm actually going to do the inserts, I think in either gray or silver on the walls. And this is going to be gray, the ceiling. And then I have to go and do the park. And I like this beige as it's in the realm of brown. So it's going to be used the base for all these grass areas. The indented area is a path. The raised areas are grass areas. I'm going to have to also drill and add trees, and I'm going to have to add grass, and I'm going to add gravel on that trail. For the doors here, and this is kind of where it gets a little bit spooky when folding it, because this, if you see that little corner right there, is all that's holding that edge. That tiny piece there. There's a door next to it. There's a door there. That is actually a screen, and that's a tiny door. So what I plan to do is paint in the doors, probably that maroony red color, and I'm going to leave the screen unlight blocked and put something there. And same thing with the other side. And this has those more traditional shaped doors with this. It even has the little tiny detail for those silver inserts, which I'm going to try to paint. But yeah, that's the video screen in the middle. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I want light to come into those video screens from the back. I think that'll look cool. You can kind of barely see it. So that's this. Now, the lighting, as I stated before, that's where it gets tricky. Because we've got this little thing that holds up the rod that goes into the base. And you can see I've actually marked it off. The reason I've marked it off, is that the correct way? Wow, I got it. is because of this. This little photo etch part is what the Arboretum sits on top of to become level with these windows. And that goes here. And it's supposed to go flush. There's actually, you can see the little cutout here in the middle that is for these two little pieces right here. So it sits flush like this. Or falls on the floor. That's a thing that happens, because, you know, my luck. Anyways, it sits flush like this. It sits flush in there like that. But you can't do that with this on here, obviously. It sits way too high if you set it on top of there. So that's why this is marked off, because that's approximately where I have to cut it so that this will fit on top of it. But, and here's the problem. I'm going to cut this off so I won't have this section up here, the top section where the rod is supposed to glue into, and it's supposed to be, you know, where it attaches basically. So I won't have that. That's easy to replace. But my actual concern is fitting the wiring, and it's just going to be 2 wires in the end, because I'm not doing anything fancy with anything else. It's going to be 2 wires. So I have to fit, let's see here. Let's get some wire. 2 braided wires. This is all I'm going to have to fit under there. But still, and they're going to go out to my, let's do it like this, my base. So I have to just fit this under here, but that also has to go under here. And I think I could do that. Of course, I'll have to glue on a new top to this. Otherwise, it's just going to sit, the rod is going to sit at on the photo etch, and I don't know, and that's going to put undue stresses on the Arboretum, and I don't want that to just pop out of there because there's nothing holding it in on the opposite side. So I'll have to glue in a piece of styrene or something right there. I was also thinking of running the wires, you can see, out the front, but I don't know about that because I'd have to drill a hole in that metal rod, and I don't like that idea. So I'm thinking my little plan will work, but I won't know until I start getting this off and figuring out how exactly this goes in here and seeing how much room I have. Yeah, that's the other problem, because if the I'll have to have this much room in between this and the photo etch, this little part. So how the heck am I going to do that? I won't know until I take that off and see how everything fits in here. I was going to glue this in, but now I don't know. Whoop. Come on, get back up there. I don't know about that, just because of the complications with everything. So I've been just focusing on getting everything kind of painted up here in the meantime, while trying to think about this. Also, I have to remove, after reading the instructions and looking at the, what's it called? The shuttle bay. Why can't I never remember shuttle bay? I marked off with a pencil pretty much where I have to remove all that stuff. It even comes up, I didn't realize this, it does come up into this, oops, this little section here, so I have to remove that too. On either side. So I'll have to remove most of the fantail and all that inner stuff. And that's where those 2 little side pieces come in on the edges, which I'm really hoping those fit in there properly. These 2 little pieces, which I still have to paint. I'm thinking that the edges will be white, and the inside of those, if you can kind of see them, where are they? Right here. The inside of these will have to be, I think, more like duck egg blue. And behind them, I'll have to put in some plastic. And those little lines you can see through are actually their blue lights. So I'll have to put in some, I think I'm just going to put plastic and paint those transparent blue. And that'll show the blue light through there, and that'll be fine. So that is where I'm at, and that is what I'm doing. I will get back to you when I've got more done on the Arboretum. Be right back. Hey guys, working on my Arboretum. This is what we have so far. The rocks for the path are a little out of scale, but the grass is pretty good. There we go. For the grass, I just happen to have some model railroading grass. This stuff you can buy in sheets, really cheap. And I just scraped a bunch off. Do a little cup here. I took some Elmer's. I just painted where I wanted it to go. Clean out this brush. And I did the same thing for the path. And then I painted in the little waterway there. You can see there's a little waterway over here. And this thing where I said it was a door, it's not a door, it'll be a waterfall. I'll paint that in the plastic before I attach it there. So now what I want to do is add some, oh yeah, this is Woodland Scenics. This is ancient. This is from like 1991. It says copyright 75 on the back, but this is from 91. And there were tons of dead bugs in here. So I kept pouring it out, dead bugs would fall out. Had this for a while, I'm saying. Anyways, this is actually the smallest ballast I have. The other stuff, a really nice red rock, but it was even bigger. So what I want to do now is I want to add some bushes and I want to add some trees. And I also have some Woodland Scenic, more ancient Woodland Scenic stuff. Oh, somebody twist-tied this back in 1991. But what I was using this for, I used a bunch of it. Can't remember. Probably, actually, I think I know what I used it for. So, this is just like this fluff. This green fluff. So I'm going to take this and probably like that amount, because I don't want too many. Just add some bushes. Then I'm going to add some trees. And to do the trees, I'm actually going to use wire. And drill little holes in the metal. And put the wire through that. Easy peasy. So I've got a couple of gauges of wire here. Got some really thin stuff, and I got some thicker stuff. This braided wire, I thought this would make a really cool, kind of like really knotty oak tree. So I want to figure out where do I want to put my oak tree, and I think I want it right here in this central area. Right there is where I want that oak tree. Or over here. It can't be too high. It can only be as high as these walls. Otherwise the ceiling won't close down. So these are going to be really small trees. So I'm going to need barely any of this. Oh, that's right. I'm also going to use this for the trees. So a little bush, little trees. And then, yeah, maybe right here. No, that'll be in front of the screen. So I'll put it over here. Be nice to have a pine tree, but I don't think I could do that at this scale. At least I'm not aware of how I would. So I'm going to put a tree here. I'll probably put another tree, yeah, right there. Right about there. So, let's see. I can use these wires off these timing chips, because I don't need a lot of it. Very little amount. Just overdo it a little. There we go. Unfortunately, these aren't frayed wires. Frayed wires are best because you can get the frayed part out. I wonder if I do have any frayed wires. Or the wires that have multiple. They're not just one piece of copper. They're those multiple pieces of copper. They almost look like a paintbrush at the top. I think I have any of those, so I'll use these. So the first thing I need to do is to drill my holes. I'm going to use some of this for scrawny little tree. Yeah, actually that might work. I also have this stuff, this lichen, whatever this is. Maybe I'll use some of that. I'm going to get back to work. I'll be back in a moment. Hey guys, I am almost done with my Arboretum. Let's see here. What I'm using for the doors and the monitors, I got that red on it that I used for the other doors and monitors, and it's currently if you can see that, drying. I'm going to clear coat it. And everything else is done here. I got my happy little trees in there and some bushes. At this, I had to go through here, and I still have to go back and paint because of this water area. And that is metallic on the water just to give it a little sheen. But this right here is a waterfall, or I will be painting it as a waterfall. I put a blue plate on the back of that, if you can see that. On the back of this. Right there. I don't know if I can show that now. That's not going to show very well. Don't have a flashlight. But you can kind of see in the light there's patterns in there, and I sanded off on the back to create some little schmutz on there. Patterns almost like clouds, because there's a shot, actually I think I'm using it for my thumbnail, where you can see up into the windows, and you can see that this roof area here is actually kind of blue, and it looks like it has clouds in it. So I wanted to have that effect. And when this is folded over and the light comes through the top, you'll get that random kind of cloud effect. So it'll be blue tinted in here, but you'll have areas that aren't as blue. So it'll look like cloud cover. And then you'll have your monitors, which light will be coming in through the monitors too. So that's that. Let's see, what else did I do? I got my clear, one coat of clear on my pylons here. Let's get to this. So I got that blue painted. I got a clear. I'm going to put another clear coat on there, and I'm going to mask off the leading edge on here, which is right there and right there. And I'm going to paint that duck egg blue. And then I probably could assemble these, and then I have to go in and attach my photo etch to the edges in here and along this side. So that's that. I just put another coat of clear on my shuttle bay. Let's see if I can grab this without destroying everything. Yep. Ooh, holy crap. That was too thick. Yikes. Okay. Okay, that's salvageable. That's fine. What happened there? I just got a little too thick with the clear, I guess. Don't overdo your clear. That's what happens. So I'll just scrape that off and repaint it. No big deal. And I got it up there too. Wow. Yeah, I kind of heavy-handed the clear on there. I thought I'd be okay because I had one coat on there already, but I guess not. Maybe that'll settle down. Maybe once it dries, it'll settle down. Because I've seen that happen before, where it gets all crinkly and then it settles back down. Maybe not. It's alright. I'll just sand it off. This isn't... I don't care about this. Those didn't, though. It did behind it, but not in front of the little... whatever those two things are. Right there. Or it might just be working its way over there. Well, oopsie. No big deal. Won't go so heavy-handed on the clear next time. But yeah, I'll be excited to get this done. Again, just had to wait for the paint to dry on these. And then I'm not sure, well, I'm going to fold it over after I get everything installed and painted. And then I'm going to think about mounting it in here. And also, I should do that too. Yeah, mounting it in one of these sides, getting everything. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have to paint first. I'm going to remove this, going to have to add my top to that, and I'm going to have to paint before I do that because I can't paint once this is in here. I could, but I don't want to because all the areas I need light to go through. So I will look at this here. It's turned up, it goes here, it turns up. Okay. Yeah, I want those white on the back too, because you're going to be able to see through here and see the other side. So I want those white. So yeah, I probably should remove this and paint those. That's what I should do next. Alright, I'll be back when I got some more done. Hey guys, thought I'd show you what this looks like before I fold it over. This is done. There we go. See, I got my little waterfall over here. Got all those doors, got the screens in either side and the doors. And I'm just going to fold this over. Be right back. Hey guys, I got the Arboretum folded over. And let's see if I can do this. And this is it's kind of what you'll look like. You can see that. I do have a light leak on the side, but there's the monitor there. Let's see, there's the monitor there. Let's see. So yeah, I just clean up the light leaks on the on this edge here, and that's that with the Arboretum. So yeah, got that done. I'll be back with more. Hey guys, all right, got the paint on here. Got the pylon's done. You can see that leading edges on there, and they got clear on them. I'm gonna put another coat of clear after this one dries, and those will get assembled. Then onto the photo etch. Yeah, these got painted. A couple of coats. I did a couple coats of black on the outside and the inside. And I did a couple coats of white on the outside and inside. I really want to light black this. So I did a few more coats than I would normally do. I got all that material out of the shuttle bay area. As you can see, they are both open. I'm going to have to do more. I don't have this part done, which is why I was painting it today, to hopefully get it done so I could fold it over. Unfortunately, I went back in with the black and went really hard, and it crinkled again. So, yay me. So I'll have to sand that down again. It's not as bad. It's just a little bit here and some fuzz up in there. So I'll have to fix that. But yeah, I'm going to probably have to reshape this a little bit to conform to the shape of this. That's why I left a little bit of material on the leading edge of the fantail, so I have a little bit of something to glue it to. There is a part on the tree that forms the rear, I guess, foundation for the shuttle bay, and that mounts right about here on either side, right where the first windows are, right behind the first windows, because this will only go back into the shuttle bay. Only goes back, unlike you see in the motion picture where it goes almost all the way up to here, or all the way up to about there, about where the pylon starts. This one goes back, let's see, that's the door, there's the front of the fantail, that far. That's how far in it goes, which is about to right there. So that's that. That's why I'm trying to get this painted as quickly as I can. So I have measurements for this. And I still have to go and touch up some paint. I see I missed a spot. I'm not touching these because they're still tacky. Just a little bit. I have to get that front. A little black in there still on these edges. Yeah, it looks kind of neat, but it's supposed to be white. So I also have to paint the, well, I don't have to paint the edges of this so much. Like down here, it's not, it kind of got a little gradient. I don't care about that because I'm going to have to fill in this entire seam. And on the front side too, I also have to go in and do a little seam work up here. And I don't like these grid lines. This is the top, I guess the neck, or not the neck, the area that holds the pylon sort of forms the top grid line. If you look at these grid lines, that's the start of it. I don't like how deep that is, so I'm going to fill that and then I'll rescribe it because it's just a little, it stands out a lot more than the other grid lines. You can really see it there. It stands out a little bit too much. So I'm going to fill that. So all this area around here will be filled. I drilled my holes in for my lights, for my pylons. I also drilled in little holes on either side of the doors. I'm going to put lights there. I'm This isn't taped down, that's why I'm holding this at weird angles. I don't want it to fall off. But yeah, you can see the little holes on the door. Some of, most of these windows I'm going to actually fill with canopy glue because there's just too much going on behind them. These ones, however, the bigger ones, I will use plastic behind if I can. I think I should be able to. These ones might be a little worrisome, but the rest of these I should be able to. And maybe these bigger windows too on the either side. So that's, I got the light blocking on the Arboretum. I just put another coat on there. I have to light block the top too now, the either side. When I went and I put it together, it kind of didn't go together exactly perfectly. This is kicked out a little bit. The plastic I put on this edge kicked out a little bit, so I had to go back and fill that with super glue and then paint over it. Let's see. Yep. Put it on that edge. Do not smear the paint. There we go. What else did I do? Oh, I finished my modification on the mount. I have to paint this, but I cut that off. I can't touch these. Don't touch. But I cut that off, and then I took a bigger piece of sprue. Actually, there's a piece of this sprue right here that holds the shuttlecraft. This sprue was a little oversized, so I had to sand it down and carve it and stuff. But I glued that in the top there, a little section of it, and I left a spacer at the bottom. And so all I need to do is go back in and drill out a hole here for the wires, and I do have to paint this. Yeah, it doesn't color match, so I'll have to paint this. I think that's about where I am at right now. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Hey guys, welcome back. It is the next day. I painted this. Finished that fantail. It is, you can see that in the glare. I'm trying to get it in the glare. There we go. It is fixed. And I'm waiting for it to dry before I clear coat it, before I go in and finish this and this and this. And I have to look at screenshots. I do have a screenshot of the scene where you see you actually see it. You see it from where Kirk parks the travel pod. You look back down the entire hull of the ship from here. He's standing at a little I don't know, like a railing, and you can actually see all the way back out the shuttle bay. So there's a good sense of colors, and I think they're mainly blue and green and some beige. I'll have to look at that again. It's actually a huge matte painting. I believe Andrew Probert did that one. He did a few matte paintings, but I'll have to wait for that to dry. So I did that. I got my pylons together, and they are drying. They are clamped, and they are drying. What else did I do? I test fit this thing. The Arboretum, I test fitted. I put this in. The little cap for the underside right now is currently drying. It's in paint. But I tested that cap, and then I put this on top of it, and I'll have plenty of room to run my wires through there. This, however, is going to have to be light blocked, but it's going to have to be light blocked on the forward side, which isn't too bad, but it still means somehow having to get in and do that. And as you can see here, as I put the hull together, gingerly, there's not a ton of room to do that. So my idea of, I don't even know if I brought this up, but my idea originally was to half assemble and then half assemble the other side. But to do that, I really have to make sure everything's level and square with this side before I glue it in. And I'm still not sure if that's going to work. That's why I want to get the shuttle bay done, so I can see how much more work I'll have to do the fantail and anything else before I mount it in there. As you can see, I did get my first round of puttying. Haven't done any sanding. This white is still a little tacky, which is gingerly holding it. So I'm waiting for that to fully dry before I completely mess with it. Not that it matters, I'm going to be repainting it all anyways because of this. And because of the fan tail. I'm sure I'm going to have to do work to that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking about my lighting, because I'm going to have to put that in very soon. And I started with the neck, and I might just do the neck today. I still have to do my photo etch. I still have to paint my photo etch, because that's over here. The photo etch for the photons. Excuse me. And I have to paint this leading edge, that duck egg blue, this edge here. Oh, I forgot my vents. Those vents got to be painted black. I'm actually going to do that with a Sharpie because it's easier than having to mask that off. I think that's what I did with my other one too. So, I've been marking off where my lights go. For the neck, I think I have it. You can see the pencil marks in there. Of a strip of 3 just fits in here. Another one just fits in here. And one barely fits underneath these windows. I don't know if I'm going to even need that one. I'm hoping not, because it barely fits there. I think 2 strips will be more than enough to light up this tiny little area. So that's for that. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to solder up some 3 strips and just kind of temp them in here. Actually, just glue them in here because I know those 2 are going there, and see how much light bounce I get down here. I'm also going to be getting light in these windows, these lower windows in the, I guess, the photon area. I guess that's what that is. I'm also going to be getting light from underneath it. So I'm going to be getting light from here. I don't know how much light though, because here's how I have this marked off. I'm going to have to get light into that arboretum, so I'm putting a 3 strip right here. I'm putting another 3 strip in between these 2 sections here. Get light into there. There, I'm putting a 6 strip along here, and I'm putting another 3 strip along this bottom, and I'm putting a 3 strip back here because that's right above the roof of the shuttle bay. So that's where I'm at with that. I think I can get back to work on the neck, do some soldering, get a bunch of, actually going to solder up a bunch of 3 strips because I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 14. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, so I'm going to need 14 of those, so I'm going to get to work on that. I'll be right back. So I was doing some work here, and I thought I'd spray some clear on my my pylons there, finish those off. And I ran out of this bottle. Well, I bought another bottle. And I opened it up, and I noticed the top of the can looked kind of funky. So what the heck's going on there? As you can hear, that's a full can of clear. So I went to spray it, and it sprayed not from the nozzle, but from the base, and it just went all over the place. It ruined my shuttle bay, actually. See if I can grab that. Yeah. Well, it didn't ruin the whole thing. I'm gonna have to repaint. You can see the door there got kind of a little melty. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that door. So I have to repaint that. Just put that there. I coated my finger. My finger is nice and matte now. Look at that. Look at that finish. And I thought, okay, well maybe it's the nozzle. So I took the nozzle off of this can, which is empty, and threw it on this can, but nope, it's not. He just there. he just comes up out of there, and there's doesn't seem to be anything I could do about it, which really stinks because this is a brand new bottle or can. So yeah, I guess in the garbage with that. Really stinks. So I don't know if I showed this off, I got these repainted and I got the seams filled. You can see that line at the top here. is it's more in size and kind of depth as the other grid lines, and I got both sides. So that's done. So now I can go on the inside and start putting my lights after this dries. Still letting it dry. Did touch up on my pylons. After I puttied, I had to putty some stuff. The edges of this, or there's a seam that went through the middle because of the two halves and the edges. I just put some putty in there, filled them, and hand repainted them. And I have clear on them, and I'm letting them dry. The last of the other clear. I do have other mats. Like I got this chalked mat, but they all come out satin. And I think these are both Rust-Oleum. Yeah, these are both Rust-Oleum. The Krylon one was the one that really works. I like Rust-Oleum paint, but I like Krylon finish. So that was my little adventure here. I'm gonna get back to work. Well, I got the paint done for the shuttle bay. I thought before I fold it over, maybe I want to show it off a little bit. There it is. You get the gray on the ceiling, you get the beige on the walls, and then the duck egg blue in these little inserts. And more beige, some silver, and the blue. So I'm going to get back to folding this back together. Hey guys, I am done with the pylons. Done. I got that photo etch grill installed on either side. And all I did is to make sure that installed correctly, and the instructions say to remove some of the material from in here. So before I even painted or did anything to these, I taped them together and I sanded a bunch of the material off around the edges here so that the grills would install correctly. They look really awesome, much better than just black paint in there. There's a little bit of dimension to them, a little bit of you can actually see the grills in the right light. You can see the grills. So it's really cool. So those are done. I also finished the neck. I did fold over I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I did fold over this. This is fold over. So I got that. And I finished the neck. I just glued in the photo etch for the photon torpedo tubes. I'm trying to be ginger with this. That's the word of the week apparently. I got that duck egg blue on the edge. The actual photo etch is duck egg blue. I got the black vent there. I did not install the photo etch on these because I test fitted this on the neck just to make sure where they went, and I thought to myself, you know, this would be much easier if I just did those photo etch pieces after I installed the neck, because I'm going to have to do some filling by the impulse deck because of how the photo etch are, how they come up at the angle. I'm going to actually have to go in there and use some filler on them. So I thought, yeah, I'll just wait till then. But yeah, as you can see, I got those photon tube photo etch in there, and that's the duck egg blue. And I went in there. It's kind of shiny, if you can see. I went in there with a pencil and I highlighted the raised areas, just to add a little more depth, add a little more detail. Now that's not just the photo etch. That is the photo etch on top of the kit part. And the reason I did that is because when the photo etch went in there, I just, even though I removed material around here, it just wasn't sitting correctly. So I took the kit part, I cut off, there's little tabs at the end of the kit part. It kind of looks like this, like a U. Or, well, that's a U. That's an N. Anyways, I cut those little ends off, and I shaped it a little better, and I painted it black. I masked off where the tubes are, painted the backside red, it's metallic red, and I put that in there, and the photo etch is actually sitting on top of that. I glued it on top of that, just glued it on top of that. So there's that. I also preemptive strike on some of the light leak, actually the big light leak I want to take care of. There is going to be a light leak on here. If you see this little triangular piece above my finger, you can't really see it. That right there, you see that? That is how it goes on the hull. So that is going to have to be filled when I fill the seam after I attach it to the hull. But this, and that's easy because that's on the outside. This is on the inside. This is underneath. The hull is like this. So this is really hard to get to. So I went in there, you can see that. And there's two pieces of styrene I just cut and kind of shaped to about where they are in the neck. And I painted those white, and I painted it black behind there, a couple coats of tulip. So hopefully that will mitigate, if not completely eliminate, the light leak that happens from right here. So let's see here. Let us look at how the lights are all working. Yep. And that's just 2 light strips in there on one side. And it even gets down into there. My battery will work. And I did open those, or put 2 lights on either side of the travel pod door, and I painted those yellow on either side. I know one side they're harder to see. There we go. And again, I'll be getting some more light into that deck. Whoops. From underneath. The tubes aren't very bright. I don't even know if you can see that. The tubes aren't very bright, but those will brighten up once I get light from underneath here into that area. So they're kind of subtle, which isn't bad. Subtle isn't bad. So the other thing that happened is I had a casualty. I lost my favorite toothpick getting that stupid photo etch photon thing in there. I lost it. Out of all the tools I have, I use toothpicks the most because they're just so handy to move things and do stuff. Little toothpick, poor toothpick. She is no more. Anyway, that is going to do it for this week. It's a long video. Sorry for the long video. I just had a lot of stuff I had to get done. Next week I will be, I didn't get to anything on the secondary hull. But next week I will be completely focused on the secondary hull. I'll be getting the lights in there. I will hopefully getting at least this kind of temp in there to see what I have to work with. I'll be trying to get the Arboretum set in there, see what that looks like. And then we'll have to move on to thinking about assembly. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care. And I hit the tripod, of course. Well, I'm not going to reshoot this. You're going to have to live with it.